Hey my dudes, I'm gonna interject very quick before we dive into this video because I want you guys to know what I'm setting up here. This video is an update to the digital instrument cluster walkthrough video that I made about 6 months ago. Now, I've had this digital instrument cluster for going on a year now, yeah. And when I got it, of course it's great. I think it's better than the carobotor, whatever, the other digital instrument cluster, which is more expensive. And you have to do all these things to get your mileage transferred from your old instrument cluster to the new carobotor. This instrument cluster that I reviewed here and that I've got in my Jeep, it doesn't do all that. Anyway, since I got it, there were three main things that were causing me problems. One was the horn would randomly honk at any given moment. And it might do it in succession, or it wouldn't do it for 6 weeks, and then it would do it. It was the strangest thing. I couldn't figure out what was causing that. The second thing that was giving me problems was the windshield wipers would randomly wipe, typically whenever the horn would honk. So that, both of those in conjunction was just, they'd startle me. And I remember being pulled over one time, and there was a police officer, right next to me. We were chatting, and it startled him as well. So, it wasn't cool that it would startle me, startle my passengers, or someone was driving my car. The third and final problem that I had with the digital instrument cluster was that it didn't recognize when I would click my seatbelt in, but it would only do it if I click my seatbelt in before I turn the Jeep on, which is what I'm accustomed to doing whenever I get in a vehicle. As soon as the first thing I do is click my seatbelt in and then start the vehicle. Old habit. So I reached out to the seller, and they had recently sent me, and this is what this video is about, they'd recently sent me a firmware update, software update, depending upon what you call it, and they said it's going to fix those issues. Well, yes, it did. But it's one step forward, one step back. And that's what this video is about. I'm gonna show you how I updated it, and I'm gonna explain the issues that I'm having. And a brief synopsis is, no, my horn doesn't honk anymore randomly, which is great. My windshield wipers don't randomly wipe, great. The seatbelt still has the same issue. I've even gone into JScan and made sure that my seatbelt chime has been deactivated. If you guys don't know what JScan is, I really recommend diving into that. There's a bunch of stuff on my channel about that. But I made sure that that was deactivated. I went ahead and reactivated it and then deactivated it again. Still the same issue persists. So whatever, I'll live with it. Not a big deal. For the price of this thing compared to the carobotor, whatever, yeah, I still recommend this. But a second new issue has popped up, and that is the boot up animation and the shutdown animation whenever you start the Jeep or turn the Jeep off. Those are gone. And I miss those. Those are really cool. They were dramatic, and I'm kind of into that. So that's a bummer. The third and final thing is that the Jeep Wrangler no longer shows up in the different themes sections, which fine, I didn't care. It doesn't bother me that much. But, it was also a Jeep JLU. It wasn't a JKU, which is what I have. I have a JKU. So that's kind of weird. It was a JLU photo, not a JKU. I digress. I don't care so much about that. Anyway, I'm sharing this video because there's two other people that I found on YouTube that have the exact same problem that I'm having. And I'm hoping that there's more of us and that we can collectively reach out to the seller and say, hey, these issues are not us. It's not us installing the software update incorrectly. It's on your end. So this video is going to show that. There's going to be parts of this video that you're going to want to fast forward. I did not edit those parts out because I want to show that for those of you that are interested in what exactly I've tried to do to mitigate this problem. So I left those in there. So please be mindful to go ahead and fast forward through certain sections of this video because there's going to be a lot of you that don't really care. You just want a solution. So anyway, let's jump into it. Hey team, so today we are going to be upgrading the digital instrument cluster, and I'm going to walk you guys through this step by step. So I'm taking a shot in the dark here. I just pressed the ACC button one time, where for me it's the start button. For you guys it would be one click over for your key. And yes, this is a Jeep JK JKU, but if you haven't seen my video on the push to start button, I would recommend taking a look at that if this is your first time noticing it. That being said, the first thing that I'm going to do here, go into the second click over, because I know most of you guys have the key and I have the push to start that I put in this Jeep JK JKU. If you guys haven't seen that video, look at my channel. It's the EasyGuard PKE system. That being said, what I want to do is I want to look to see what software is on here before we do the upgrade. That way I can make a comparison between the two numbers. So if I remember how to dive in here. So here is the version that I've got. Let's see if I can't zoom in on this. And can I scroll down? Nope, I can't scroll down. So I don't know what this says over here. But we've got that information, so now let's go ahead and try this upgrade. So I changed up the style, and now you get a better idea of what that number was down here. OE.041218.T5 JLY V4.7. That was back in March 23 of 2022. So let's see what happens when I get this USB plugged into the cable, because that's what they mentioned. They mentioned it just gets plugged in. Just gets plugged into the cable here. Okay, so I've got it plugged in. During the update, please do not do anything. And this is the reason for the update, was because it would randomly do the windshield washers 3 times and it would honk once. Randomly. It wouldn't even do it. You couldn't even tell. Oh, I gotta unplug this according to their directions. Whoop, I gotta use 2 hands. That's not good. So after it reached 0%, it just completely flew off the rails, and yeah, it's been draining my battery ever since. I thought, okay, well, I'm just gonna let the battery die, but then I thought, well, there's gotta be a fuse for this. And then I remembered I have JScan, so I'm gonna try resetting the cluster with JScan and my OBD2 Bluetooth reader from VPeak, see if I can get this fixed. And then if this doesn't work, I'll just pull fuses. So I couldn't find the fuse, but I did disconnect the negative terminal on my battery. And finally, I have a MCU needs force update. Please insert a USB flash drive with agreement to perform mandatory upgrade. So let's try this again. So this is the second file. And it says once you pick the logo, remove that. Well, that's not good. So my Jeep is gone, and this is the new Protocol version. It does say Wrangler down there, so that's interesting. I'll mess around in the settings and see if I can't get the Jeep back. Oh, the launcher's changed. So now the launcher says October 27th, 2023. So let's take a look in here and see if we can't change the vehicle. Yeah, the Jeep's gone completely. But I'm pretty sure we can get this back. Okay, yeah, odometer, main tank is 80, sub-tank, confirm. Vehicle model's Jeep. Patrol, Pajero, Maserati, Infiniti, Jeep. Okay. So now that you guys have seen that video, I'm gonna put some information and the files that I used. I'm gonna put some information down in the video description. Also, the same exact information that's in the video description is also gonna be in the pinned comment, in the comment section. It's gonna be the pinned comment at the very top. I recommend you guys reading one of those two. In order, for those of you that don't have the update, you can try this update for yourself to at least get the horn honking to go away and the windshield wipers randomly wiping. That'll go away. But since the start, and then I'll also leave the email address of the seller, because I got mine on Amazon. I'll leave their email address, and what I would like is if we could come together as a community and we could all get in one email, and we could send, with each of us on this email, we could send one email to them saying, hey, this is us, this is what I found, this is the previous software that was on there, this is the new software, the image that you guys have sent, here's the remaining issues. So please let me know in the comments how you guys would like to go about it. So I'm editing the video, and I want to remind you guys, even though I'm leaving information down in the description of how to contact them, and if you don't want to join us in the one email that I'd like to send to them, showing them this video and showing them the version and all the information that we have of what's working, what's not, if you want to email them separately, I highly recommend that you are going to be able to catch more flies with honey than you are with vinegar. And what I mean by that is try to be chill, try to be cordial. They could have certainly left us high and dry because I'm way past my return window. I'm pretty sure the other two YouTubers that I found are also way past their return window. So the fact that we even got an update, that's pretty cool. The update did fix the horn honking and the windshield wipers, so I think it's a step in the right direction. And I know certainly me even making this video, they probably don't want to see stuff like this because that's going to decrease sales for them. So I'm hoping we can get a new update, firmware, software, whatever, and get the remaining issues squashed. So that being said, I hope you guys have a blessed day.